Hello everyone, my name is Paula. For today's video, it's going to be a lot more different than my previous videos. We had our friend Alex, aka Lord Saint, come do a private tour at our greenhouse farm with my sister and I. So Alex built his own shade house in his backyard and grows his own collection of aroids outdoors. So hearing the conversations that my sister and Alex were having, mainly about soil, were so interesting that I just had to grab my camera and start recording. So in this video, we're gonna be more of like a fly in the wall. We're just gonna be joining in on their conversation. It's kind of like a visual podcast. The conversations that they're having, I'm telling you, they're interesting. Let's jump right in.
Size 3 from 4 for me was like, it was almost like I was picking up a boulder,
really like rock.
And then I was picking up a pebble, you know? Now, obviously I'm exaggerating that, but this just, for me, it does, it's the perfect size.
Yeah,
I didn't need to do size 4. Size 4 was a little bit thicker, maybe a larger scale plant, you know. And
maybe with the larger, and maybe like if it's like outside or something.
Listen, it was great. Don't get me wrong. I'd go, I don't know, the 3 works.
Yeah.
The 3 works.
It's in the middle.
Yeah. You know, and that's kind of why I was like.
So what are the sizes? What is that? Like size 3, that's the size of the perlite?
Yeah, size 3 is the size of large and coarse.
Right. So.
Okay.
4 cuffed.
So this is basically
cubic. 4 cuffed. So cuffed.
Oh my god!
4
So
4 cuffed.
bad. 4
Not cubic feet, by the way. Not to be confused with cubic feet, but 4 cuffed, which we can't tell you about that. It's a secret, trade secret.
Oh my god!
Gems, all right? End the video for the
That's
gems.
happened to me before.
That's so embarrassing.
You gotta watch the end of the video
Oh my god.
for the real meaning of cuffed.
4 cuffed. Oh god.
Okay, so
But,
this is the perlite that we use, and
yeah.
then you actually have the same
I
perlite.
use the same perlite. Size 3 or 4, honestly, they're both great. Size 3 was better when I was starting some plants out, like, you know, small 4-inch, even 6-inch pots. Size 3 was just better, right? The larger one just took too much space. It took away from any other substrate I was using.
Okay.
So right now, this works for me for everything that I use. But size 4 is good when you start getting into the 3-gallon, even 5-7 gallon, you know, because some of these, like some of my plants, the roots are just going nuts.
Right.
You know? So even if I chop them down, you know, they're restarting from there. The
You
root
chop your
system,
roots too?
I do. Yeah. Only when it becomes like Jurassic Park, like one soil mix for everything, right? And it was just, it was Miracle-Gro. I was going to get a bag of Miracle-Gro and I was putting stuff, and I didn't care where it was in a house, that everything was the same. So now I've come to realize, you know, especially migrating all my plants to the backyard, and leaving some inside, that my soil mixes are drastically different. Like what I have outdoor, if I brought it indoor, I'd be watering.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how often, because it's so chunky outside.
Yeah.
Because the
everything
rain,
gets,
elements, you know, just the plants just, they like the fresh air to breathe, you know, so I make it all chunkier. But inside, it's like, I can't use the same. I need something that's maybe gonna last me a little longer, because I don't have just a sprinkler system that goes off in my living room. You know? I've got to make it so that it lasts, at least, you know, gives me 4 days or something.
And what
you know?
plants do you have inside?
So I'm trying a few different things out, right? Because with the decor, you know, obviously I'm not the boss, you know, my wife, she won't let me make those decisions inside. Fine, you know.
That's why he has his little man cave outside.
I'm getting her now. Slowly, I'm getting her. But now I've moved in. I have like a few anthurium that I'm trying in house to be like nice pieces, you know. And I did like
pieces.
I did like the grow light little thing, and I'm trying to. I'm gonna check out a few other grow light, like pendant lights, to really make the statement pieces. But right now, like, I have a bird of paradise in my house, in my living room.
Yeah. How's it doing?
And it's doing amazing.
Yeah.
Under a grow light.
Did you change the soil of that or no?
So I left the soil alone, but I potted it chunky, because where it was for the elements, but I left it. But it does fine. I give it water once a week.
Oh, and you left it in the same.
But it's in a big pot, so there's a lot more soil.
So you added your own soil to that?
Yes. So when I got it, I put it into a bigger pot that it would last a while in, and I just moved that inside. So that's working fine.
Did you have to acclimate it outside and then put it inside, or did you automatically just have it inside?
So I had it in a shade spot. It never got direct sunlight. 'Cause once it get direct sunlight, I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
Those leaves just become the ugliest. I don't want to use that word.
Right. They don't look so nice.
Yeah, they start to tear and the
Unattractive.
sunburns, very unattractive, are not pleasing to me.
The perfection.
Yeah. No. So I had to put them in shade spots. So they're doing amazing with the grow light. It's like a dedicated grow light to it.
Okay.
So I only moved one in, and it has a dedicated grow light.
Oh.
So that grow light, it's only for that plant.
Okay.
And
do you
then
think it would do well without the grow light or no?
I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would continue the growth pattern, or you know, it's like anything. You can. Some are tolerant of little light, right? Because I don't ever want to put a plant with no light.
Right.
It's like locking a human into a box, you know, and saying, good luck. You're getting the hole.
Right.
I'm going to grow for you over here, and I'm going to come out flourishing and a genius. They're fine. I think they'll be okay with the ambient light that comes from the windows, but they're not going to grow the same.
Right.
With the grow light, they'll put out the leaves, you know.
Yeah. That's what you want.
I try to mimic what I have outside, and that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
I try to duplicate how its natural environment is inside, so that it gives me, you know, happy growth, continuous leaves and whatnot. So I'm testing some things out, but I have like ZZs. I have like 3 ZZs, like a black ZZ. Do I have a variegated ZZ? And then I forget what this other one is, like chameleon ZZ, I think it is. And I have those like on a plant stand, and they have a dedicated grow light. Pieces like, you know, plants like that, and then obviously.
I think that's so interesting that you have a dedicated grow light. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I kind of, if it was for me, I'll be like, oh, you're gonna be in this corner, and then that's it.
Right.
And you have to grow.
There's so many grow lights though. You know, if everybody was at the beginning, I was like, I hate the purple, you know, unless.
Yeah.
But now, like, you can go on Amazon and buy a $26 grow light, right? And it comes with its own tripod, and it's self-timed.
Oh, sweet.
So $26, and that grow light, a nice white light, you know, maybe has a little hue of the purple, but nothing you'll notice, and that your plant will grow just fine.
How long do you have it on?
12 hours. 12 hours a day. When they're inside, I have them 12 hours.
Yeah.
So they'll cut on, you know, 8 a.m., 8 p.m., and then
oh, that's nice.
I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, you know, I see a lot of people, even in the plant community though, I've seen a lot of people send me like setups, and like when I was talking about grow lights, and I was like, it seems like everybody's doing some type of pendant or like, you know, some lamps.
I mean, we have no excuse for them not to have any light because it's there. We can buy it.
And you know, not everybody has
that,
a yard or space to just put it outside and then buy shade fabric. So if you are going to do it inside,
you can have a
just know, a lot of times, and that's one thing, that's another thing, you know, when you buy it from the nursery, let it acclimate, but then you got to kind of figure out what your life schedule is, so you can maintain that plant. You know, you don't want to just buy it from somebody and they have what worked for them and they were watering every other day, and your work schedule doesn't allow you to do that, so now your plant's suffering when you maybe have to add some heat or some better water retention.
How many plants do you have inside?
Maybe just 10.
Yeah?
Just 10.
Really?
How many plants do you have outside?
You know, it's been I haven't counted in a long time, and now I'm like chopping and putting stuff. We'll ballpark it. We'll call it like nothing crazy. Like I'd say like 250 plants.
That's nothing crazy.
Okay, rewind.
That's not crazy. That's not crazy.
Something like
that's not crazy. That's not crazy.
That's not.
No, I don't know why I started laughing. That's not crazy.
Yeah. Okay, redo.
No.
You know, nothing too crazy.
No, what I was just thinking about, like your wife. What your wife would say with that number.
You know.
Yeah.
That's I started laughing because of the number.
If you watch my reel, I just bought another house under her name.
Yeah.
So my toxic plant poppy, my alter ego. But that's a running joke, like, because I actually extended my outdoor shade canopy. It was only a 10 by 13 at first, 10 by 13, 10 by 14, and now it's like 35 by, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I'll leave room just in case I'm gonna go further. I'm gonna go further. further. And she's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, you have inside, I've got outside. You know, that's my thing, you know? I'm like, I'm gonna have them all.
You
like,
have inside, I
yeah.
have outside.
I'm like, what's the problem here? Like, I don't bother you inside.
You're right.
Right? I just come in here and I
We
move
don't
out.
have basements in Florida.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, no.
We don't have basements.
We have
So you-
shade
We have
canopies.
shades.
We have shade
We have
canopies.
shade.
So,
Okay.
that's, you know,
Yeah, I get it.
if you're new, just
Yeah.
trial and error, right?
Yeah,
Find it
always.
easy. Like, obviously, I would say figure out what you like as soon as you can. But I get like your normal plant, like your pothos.
Yeah,
you
to
know,
start off
get these
with.
plants that are fairly inexpensive that you can kind of you can experiment with to see what your in-home soil mixture is like, you know. And then research other stuff. Obviously, watch the YouTubes. If you see anybody with the same plant that you have and it's flourishing in their home,
Yeah.
slide in their DMs, just ask them.
Yeah.
If you find anybody in the plant community that is just a complete, not a nice person,
Right, and now sharing advice.
point them out to me because I haven't met one. I literally haven't met one. Like everybody is just like, come on in, bring it in. You know, it's like, what? Nice to meet you. Oh, okay. You know, it's a okay. You know, I haven't met anybody that's just like, no, I won't tell you type of thing. You know, some people are extremely busy, but just try to find people that aren't, you know, too high up on the food chain where their DMs are probably 1,000 and they can't get to
Right, yeah.
everything. Find somebody that, you know, just less followers that can give you some advice,
Yeah, I agree.
or just DM me.
Or yeah.
Yeah,
Or DM Lord
Yeah,
Saint.
I don't know everything, but I know something. And this water is fantastic.
Oh my God, you took
wanna
out the
talk
label. No, I don't know
You
what
know?
this is.
I just want to dive in it.
You don't want to do that.
You know what?
This
Is this pee?
so airy.
Is this pee? Don't put that in the video where I'm asking what it
Is
is.
this Pete? Is this Pete?
Get this. So this is our cocoa where we soak it.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know we had this.
Oh my God.
So all the cocoa comes in these blocks and they're really tight. So then we put them in here and then we soak them and then we let it soak for a couple days. And then this is open here so it can also just get water
Do
too.
you soak it with anything or just water?
Just water.
Okay.
But I know that there's some things that you can sprinkle on it because in that, the pH, right?
Yeah, there's stuff to.
Yeah. But,
Oh my
but this is,
gosh.
we soak it too because then the salt is also like released too. So that's why it's important to soak.
Okay.
Because then the salt kind of
Okay.
goes off.
Oh, so when you buy your blocks,
Then just soak it. Before.
is that what people do?
You have to soak it, yeah.
Do you normally do that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you have to
I
soak
just
it.
don't know if I've heard of some people soaking it and not just water, just like something with a little bit of nutrients.
I think I have a
in it.
powder that I can show you that we started sprinkling on some things, but we haven't used that yet. But I was recommended this like thing, so that's what you can sprinkle on the cocoa.
A little jacuzzi for.
And then the more water that this gets, the more it's like more shredded. So it could be good that it's like in the open air, but if it rains a lot, then it's not going to be as chunky.
Gotcha.
Because it's kind of like already like so soaked that it kind of comes
Oh.
you
apart.
kind of, yeah.
It's actually
you gotta-
hard to like grab. Some.
Yeah, so this looks like it's kind of like new chunks.
Yeah.
I mean new blocks.
And that.
Oh, it looks like maybe he puts it in like this.
You could
see?
feel the, yeah. Yeah, he just lines it
Yeah.
up and then soaks and it breaks up.
Yeah.
Or, now it makes sense. We hack away. We get Paul Bunyan here and he just,
Oh yeah, he hacks away Paul.
Yeah.
Bunyan.
Oh
They're attacking
you can
him.
tell.
And look at
My
this.
folklore. I looked at it.
my god.
After soaking in there for a while, he cuts it up, and this is where it goes.
Oh my gosh. But look at what just happened. Like, you
Yeah.
had the top layer that looked like, oh, this is dry. But
Yeah,
then as
the
soon as
top.
you moved, look at
Right.
that. Rich. And you can feel the moisture in there.
There's moisture.
That is,
Oh yeah.
that's good, you know, versus, you know, you just went off the top layer and
So that's why sometimes if you see like the top layer and you're like, that's dry, but you have to like kind of like turn
yeah.
it around and be like, okay, well, maybe the bottom half is still like a little.
Yeah, I'm definitely adding this to my substrate. It's gonna go bub.
bubba.
Yeah, bub.
B
It's-
substrate.
Oh, fine.
Ba, ba, ba.
Substrate.
So this is where is it? Bloom Super QTRA 225 300L. So this is the mix that we put with the cocoa chips and perlite, number 3. So this is what we use. The soil that we use for the plants that are going to be outside, that are rooted already, that have strong roots, that are ready to be put in a bigger pot. This is the soil that we put it in. That's the mix for outside.
Outside mix. Okay. So if you are growing anything outside, like I said, it has to be a bit chunkier. The cocoa chips,
Right.
the buvaba, which is the BVB, and perlite, right? And clearly you can see that it does amazing for your outdoor
You did
plants.
mention that you were losing plants with the rain, the heavy rain that
So-
we got in.
I recently had to repot maybe 20, 30 plants. And the reason being that some plants are just not as tolerant, like they're more prone to root rot, right? Like I lost maybe 6 variety of varicosum. When my varicosum were doing fine, like
Yeah.
during spring, but as soon as we got like a week long rain stint, they all started rotting, and I realized, oh no, like growing outdoors, I need to have things a bit chunkier. So I moved, like to me, I'm still trying to figure it out, but my immediate action plan was I went to Home Depot and I bought orchid mix, right? And in it comes perlite,
Bark.
obviously bark, charcoal, and it has like these peat, like not peat, like I feel like cocoa chunks.
Cocoa
Right?
chunks, yeah.
They're like these cocoa chunks. So I'll take that and I'll mix in additional size 3 perlite, and I'll mix in cocoa peat as well. And that has kind of brought all my plants back to life to where now like the water's fast draining. But I know now that I have to get water out there. If it's like sunny like today is and we're not getting any rain, then every 3 days I have to get water.
Do you feel like if that area didn't have if it wasn't open for the rain, you would still keep it in that mix?
I would. So what gets me is that I'm not trying to control the water
okay.
output that nature's giving me. The rainwater is coming, I'm like, go ahead, give it to the plants, right? And down here, being that we're in South Florida, at any point, doesn't matter what the season is, you'll get a stint of rain, you know, we'll get daily rain. So I rather prep them for the daily rain, knowing that, all right, if we don't get rain for a stretch of a week, I can always just, my irrigation runs off of timer anyways, and it's all connected out there. I can just water the plants that way. So for me, I rather have a super airy mix where I need more water than have a more condensed mix where I guess I'm getting too much water and it can't drain properly, because then I'm losing plants left and right.
So this is the mix that we have.
look
That's
in.
for the
Hey, hold on. Root porn. Oh my God.
that has the soil, the cocoa, and the perlite.
You can see how it's just, and you can feel this plant isn't heavy either. Like,
No. So this is like the mix that we have, and then that's what it's doing. So it pretty much likes it, and then
it's fluffy.
yeah, it's fluffy.
a fluffy mix.
It's good.
And you can see all the areas where you have your slow release, and then you have your perlite, and you can see I'm looking at the chunks, and generally that's what you want, you know, because if you water this, like you're gonna see the water is coming out like immediately, which is a
Right.
good sign, you know.
And I think also too, it's like from being watered like kind of like weekly, I've always said that, well, I've always thought this, that like when you water it, like you're watering the whole thing, and then eventually like the next week it's going to be kind of like dry, like from here up, and
Right.
then maybe like still like a little moist at the bottom. So then that's when it's okay to like keep watering,
Right.
just because it's like it's kind of going down. But if your whole pot stays wet for like a week, then that's like the problem, because
Right.
then it's like, you know, it's like being in there and it's like not moving.
locked. There's not,
Yeah.
listen, if your pot stays like completely like just, you're looking at it and it's like still moist for like the first 3 inches, and it's a week outdoors,
Oh my God.
that is not, to me, I wouldn't take that as
Right.
a good sign. Like,
Right.
for me, I'm like, oh no, I gotta make that a bit chunkier, right? Because if I do get that stretch of rainfall and then it's not, something's not breathing in there, there's not enough airflow going through there, which you need some airflow.
And I think that maybe depends on like the grower, because I know that there's some soils that I see and I'm just like, how does that drain?
Thick.
But then they kind of have their system. So I think everybody has
Right.
like their
Right,
thing.
and then, like I said, you got to tailor it to what you have. If you have an outdoor area and it's covered, like plastic covering where no water is going to get through, then yeah, you can afford to do that and have it last, you know, a week. But for me, like I said, I have shade cloth. So
Right.
when it rains, my plants get water.
And I think even I noticed that I think they've always said that cocoa doesn't have that much nutrients. I mean, I don't think it pretty much has nutrients.
No.
So all you really have is the fertilizer that you put
Yeah,
it
you're
in.
adding.
So I think with this, it's good to have the soil with it because the soil provides nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
So to mix it with, you know, the cocoa, you kind of have that little chompy,
Yeah.
like the chunky stuff, and then but with here, like the soil is like really giving you the nutrients along with the fertilizer.
Right. Which goes in, that's another rabbit hole, is like feeding the plants, right?
Right.
Because I use a lot of peat-based stuff. I wouldn't say like, I'm kind of like away from soil for a lot of these things. So I utilize like slow release, and I do like a bi-weekly, or I would call it bi-weekly because the plants just love it. I'll use bi-weekly fertilizer. Like I put on that 4-gallon backpack and I'm out there like and I'm pumping and I'm like spraying the, you know.
Do you spray the foliage? Or?
I do spray the foliage as well. Everything is kind of like it's like a wand, and I go through a 4-gallon sprayer and some, you know, just to make sure all the plants get what they need. But I pair that up with the slow release granules to give it the nutrients. So I'm gonna try the, you know, I'm gonna try the BVB and see if that gives me better retention on some nutrients for
Yeah. So these we have here, this is one of our best sellers. This is the Sabo Blue Epi Premium, and this is also having the mix that we have for outside, but at the same time I think it's always good for indoors too, because the same as outside, it holds the water. It can also hold the water indoors where you don't have to water it like maybe all the time. But still, this is like really nice and rooted.
Oh, let's see.
Oh.
Lord Saint.
Sometimes you gotta like give it to them, huh?
So let's take it out.
We're good.
Oh, it's in there.
There we go. That's
Okay. Woo.
happy roots.
It's in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy roots.
Okay, hold on.
And you can see fresh roots growing.
Fresh roots growing out.
Starting to wind around. But you can see the moisture level, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
Like that's, even if you like using soil, if you don't like using soil, like that's why I add, you know, you can add a lot of peat. Like generally when I make my soil mix, I'll literally go in and I'll like do the weird like, to see how this falls out of my hand.
Oh, okay.
And based on my needs, then I'll say, okay, this is good. But if I am bringing things indoors, then it'll have to be a bit chunkier, where like I'll use more of like the soil or the cocoa peat, like my base or the foundation of my mix. I'll add more of the cocoa peat, soil, whatever it is, just to make sure I'm getting the water retention that I need.
Yeah.
So if it's falling out of your hand,
Right, because if it's falling out, like you want to close it and then it's going to be like open. Because if you have it closed, well, this has like a lot of the, but see, it's like, it kind of opens up a little bit. Because if you have it kind of, if you close your fist and it stays like too, and that's when you know it's like too, like, I don't know, it needs to be mixed up with something else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it'll get almost like too condensed. You gotta
too
give
condensed,
You gotta give it something extra. But like I said, these chips, like even like growing outdoors is a complete different ball game from indoors. And I feel like everybody, like this whole plant community, majority of us are doing stuff indoors. That's how I started. And when it's indoors, you want to still allow the plant to breathe.
Yes.
But you don't want it to where you're watering every other day, because your daily life can't take that, right?
Yeah.
So you can add or remove some things, so that way, like once a week, max 2 times a week, you're giving your plants water.
Yeah, you have. Oh, that's a great idea. Like just trying to figure out like the watering routine, like so it can work with both of you, like the plant and you, where it's like you don't have to.
But still allow it to breathe. With the perlite, the chunks. Those are all good things just to kind of throw in there that allow just that airflow to navigate.
Yes.
And then you add the other thing, the peat or your soil. Add more of it if you want it to retain, have better water retention. And that way you're watering your plants, your indoor plants, like once a week. Because generally, I don't think I water anything more than once a week inside.
That's what I was going to say. I think if anything, because you don't have like you have AC. You don't have like the sun beating down, so it doesn't.
The sun. The water's not evaporating.
That's it. So.
You know,
So I think this would be fine, but this kind of mix indoors, it's
Yeah.
gonna help out because you still have like the chunkiness and the water can fall through, but then you also have it where it can hold on to it, and so it's like you don't have to be constantly watering all the time.
Don't do like I did. Like I was pouring water like every other day. Like, oh no, this thing is thirsty. I read it. You need water. I'm gonna give you water. You know.
But I
So-
feel like that's why we always have to
Yeah,
learn.
everyone
Yeah.
starts like that.
Everybody starts like that. so.
You care a little too much,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But when you start neglecting a little bit, your
And then you're
plant
like,
starts-
oh, you didn't need that water that day? Okay, so
Yeah.
now you don't need water for
Yeah.
2 weeks. And they're like,
Back.
oh, no, you actually do need
Oh,
water.
shoot. They're teenagers. That's what your plants are.
Yeah, so you have to like figure it out.
Right?
It's like, oh.
You gotta love them, but give them room.
So-
You know,
Give 'em-
don't embarrass them in public. You know, like give them a little room, and that's how it is.
Right.
Like, that's,
Oh, yeah.
that's the perfect medium. To
That's
it,
a good idea.
you know? I'm the analogy guy. I'm telling you, I got analogies 4 days.
But that's true.
But like seriously, that's how it is. You know, so give it enough to where you know you only got to do your plant.
See how
chores.
far you can push it.
Yeah, like one time a week
Yeah.
that you give it water, which is generally your off day, and it's this nice, beautiful therapeutic experience, and you're putting on music, and you got your velvet robot.
Right, that's where I feel like that feels like a hobby. That feels good,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
Because then that doesn't feel like, oh, I have to
Every
water.
other day.
It doesn't
out
feel like
here.
a work. It feels like, oh, this is my
Right.
zone. This is my me time.
Yes.
This is,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
not a chore; it's a pleasure.
exactly.
So I guess maybe this video is kind of showing you like what mixes that we use, what mixes that we send out plants, our plants with, and then how it can maybe you can just try to switch it up how it
Yeah.
can work for you
in your lifestyle.
in your lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, but they will work. You know, if you put plants in the patio, this will work for your
Right.
patio, and it'll work indoors for you. You know, this is like the happy medium. Just there's some pieces of the substrate or some components of the substrate that just retain water a bit better that aren't necessarily bad for the plant because there's still a good airflow. So
Right.
airflow is like what kind of helped me. It's the key thing. If you don't want to lose plants left and right, just remember airflow, even if it's indoors, airflow.
That's what they always say with all the soil mixes. It's like airy.
Yeah.
Airflow. Everything. It's always like those are the key words.
Yeah, legit. Pops.
We have another grower with us.
How's everything?
Great. You're always action.
Yeah, the Lord Saint.
I was gonna make a video about that. Yeah.
Look at your shirt. Plant
Papi.
Plant Papi.
You are plant Bobby.
I do what I can for the world. You know?
That's amazing.
But we're doing the video with him because he also grows his plants outside. So, Bobby, what's the shade for this?
70.
72?
Yeah. Weather. Yeah.
He uses 75.
No, it's
72.
It's like
It's only 70.
73.
Oh,
Yeah, 70,
73,
73, 72. Generic, you walk in 75% like here's what. it is.
72.
It's like the roundup.
Yeah.
You know, give or take, but
Okay, cool.
this is
yeah.
it's perfect.
The best way to stop planting growing is like trim the tips.
Okay.
Yeah. When you trim the tips, everything is gonna hold on right here, and then it's gonna strong in here, and then there's something coming out from something on the bottom to get
Your growth
to
points.
get
It's
full.
gonna activate. Maybe that's what I need to.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did with everyone. You know.
And that's like a full.
Yeah.
A full plant.
Yeah, it's a
like,
full plant.
to me, like even that size, that's like a statement plant. That's
Yeah.
something I put in.
Right.
You see this one all the way up top.
See. Oh, look.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like trying.
Individual. Everything is individual.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that we're in South Florida? Are you seeing the same growth pattern like year round? Like are the plants like still growing?
The growing from January, from October to March, it's kind of like a dorm.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the summer, when they rain, the humidity,
Yeah.
and stop.
You can't stop. It's that's on another level.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to just keep trimming and make it strong and fertilizing.
Right.
Stay out of the weed and bugs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tons of
To
treatment.
make the plant really strong for this winter.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do all that.
So
know?
you take care on the summer really well. It's so much work, but in the winter, you want to have a nice plants
That makes
and a
sense.
strong plant.
That makes
Strong
sense.
plant.
So you build it so it withstand. It's
Yeah.
ready to run the race of the winter.
And remember this, release fertilize.
Yeah.
You had it.
I use slow release.
Yeah.
Which one do we
Yeah,
use
what-
again?
what- 1878. Oh, we
1878.
had it low numbers right now. They give you a lot of different colors. They use it for blooming plants,
Yeah.
but you can use that in a slow release 6 months.
Okay.
But they give you a lot of different variation and stuff like this. You know,
Okay.
the plant.
Yes. Yes.
Keep the plant more like this, more clean
Yes.
and more
Slow,
colors.
slow release is so underrated.
So I have
Yeah.
that fertilizer if you want some.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to try it out. I've been using Osmocote.
Yeah, Osmocote is good. Osmocote is the same as like everybody grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Nutricote is the best.
So, what color is Nutricote? Is it yellow?
Great, great,
Great.
great.
It's enough.
But there's so many different numbers, so you gotta
Yeah.
use the low numbers.
Okay.
I think 13, 11, 11. That's the one we use it now for the variegating plants,
Okay.
and we use it for everything because we find out that that's the best
13
Results?
result for plants. Yeah,
13
they have the most nutrition.
Nutrition.
Nitrogen.
Nitrogen.
Yeah.
And all the good things that plant need.
Nutricote. Okay. I'm looking.
Wow.
We'll give you some.
Thanks. Yeah.
We'll give it some. Everyone is the same size and this and that. This is like a dream.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a dream.
Like-
When you have a plant like this, it's like a dream. But yes, to keep don't wake up in the nightmare.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you have,
You have
turn
to
it
have
back.
a lot of
Because
work
it's
in
like,
there.
all like this.
No.
A lot
yeah.
of work and then there's too much. Plant don't mind is if you trim. But if you give you good fertilizer and good food, they will be happy.
Which is another thing. I think a lot of people don't realize.
You know, like the Monstera pinipartita.
Yes.
So the top of the plant is very, very unusual. It's like a little, they cut a little bit and they're taking so long to get the nice
You have
branch.
one, right?
Yeah. And
And you see
mine is
you see the nice branch they
beautiful.
But how long they're gonna take that? It's taking so long because you gotta trim and trim and trim
Right.
and trim and trim.
Right.
So it's taking a long time to have the umbrella like this, like
Yeah.
like a fan.
And a lot of people don't realize it. If you don't have that.
but you see, that plant is beautiful.
It's incredibly.
It's so
But you know, 95% of those plants, they don't have no the umbrella. They don't have no the fan.
Does yours have that now?
Yeah, mine is like
I don't
it's
have
like a thick knot, like
Exactly.
isn't it? Thick.
Yeah, but they have to wait for that thing. They have to get
I got it
stronger.
from you guys. I
Yeah,
got mine
of
small
course.
juvenile from you guys, like beginning of my plant journey.
I do.
Yeah.
I never keep anyone, but the one I have, because as soon they pick it up, the best one, plant they go. I see, as soon they see it, the best one, they ship
Take it. Oh,
They ship it.
underrated plant. Like I tell people, if you love how the flame looks, the Bromarks
Like
flame,
irrigated.
like take a look at that one. It just, the leaves are beautiful. I've had people ask me, is that a Bromarks flame? And I'm like, nope.
Really?
Like, so it's underrated. I don't think people realize. It takes a
Yeah. Show me more, because I have it like 3,000 over here. But I just keep
Over
trimming.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well-
Yeah, keep
we'll
trimming
go
and
over
make
there.
sure they're gonna come up with the nice thing.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
No, yeah, we definitely have to show it because I'm surprised I haven't seen more people with that plant.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, like people ask me, like, what is that? And when they see it, they're asking me, what is that? I'm like, you got to give
We
some of these
sell so
chances.
many.
They got to mature a little bit. Give them a
And
chance.
the price is incredible.
It's
The price
ridiculous.
is ridiculous. When it's like this, it's about couple $100.
Right.
When it's like that, probably like $10.
It was. I got it.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody. You know, so that's definitely a plant to get your hands on if you don't have it already. I'm gonna feature it today. I'm gonna take a picture of it at home. I'm gonna feature it. Yeah.
So that's the thing. But yours happened pretty quickly.
You can see the bottom is like a little.
Yeah, it's not that
short,
tall.
and then it just starts
Yeah.
fenestrating, and I'm like, oh,
I
cool.
wanted
And then
to put it on the pole right away, do you think?
yeah,
Okay, so these are super juvenile.
Yeah, these are
these
juvenile.
are juvenile.
Yeah.
These are juvenile. Listen, I can almost guarantee it.
This is it here. Here, grab this one.
Oh, here. Okay.
It's pretty.
With time, right? Like you get it on and it latches and it's liking the host that you have it on, whether it be a wood plank or moss pole or something like that. As soon as this plant, like just like everything else, right? And this is like part of my obsession with philodendron. When they start to climb and they hit that sweet spot where they're like, I'm a climber, baby. This is what I'm doing. They'll start to fenestrate, and your leaves, I'm talking on this plant, your leaves will be this long, and they'll be, the fenestration is almost like, it almost looks like a flame. Like if you were obsessed right now with Burl Marx Flame, Monstera Burl Marx Flame, you'll be obsessed with this. I'm telling you right now. And it has a thick, this stem becomes like it looks like a knot. It's just like beautifully thick knot, and these leaves get huge.
Ooh.
And the fenestration is incredible.
We've cut this back 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'll even
5
send you
times.
that video.
Yeah.
That way.
And even we're still trying to get it, but yeah, this is it.
That's good. I can't believe that's the same one.
Get on this. If you haven't, I'm so surprised that people haven't, like, they aren't posting this like daily. Like this isn't a hot topic plant. Maybe because a lot of people haven't seen the mature version. But we're gonna get this plant trending.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna photograph it today. I'm gonna put the Lord Saint special on it. The little, you know.
I think so.
And then like, cause you have to get this plant. Like to me, it's easy. You can't go without it. Just the size of the leaves, the size of the plant in general. It's beautiful. So I'll post it today.
Yeah.
Ah, there you can start to see. So tell me, look at that.
Right, it looks like a little bit.
It starts to get like flamish.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's maybe not a flame like a.
Yeah, but it kind of looks like it. Yeah.
It's like
I can see it.
a hot stove top. Maybe not a flame, but a hot stove top. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Wow. Yes. Yes. Oh my God. Oh, put away your. Please honor the exclusivity of. Can you put that away, please? This, first of all, like I know people hate the humidity, but I like it.
Yeah.
And it is humid in here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where are you? Okay, where are you? Where are you? That is huge.
Oh my God.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
goodness.
hold that. You hold that big guy.
Jeez.
Whoa. So Melody's not the only one that makes it look huge.
Yeah.
It actually is huge.
I'm gonna like Atlas it, you know, like.
Wait. Oh my God,
I
wait.
have this thing. I'm never leaving. I'm never leaving. Are you giving this the bottled water? Is this the bottled water that I'm drinking? You want your plants to grow? Do it with our bottled water. Oh my God! You know, like close cousins.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the hair colors are different. You know.
Mm-hmm. You know.
But that's it, you know, you gotta love them both. You gotta have them both. Are these?
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
I remember I messaged Melody. I'm like, oh, what is that? She's like, a plant.
That's
And then this is BV, the boob. BVB with cocoa and perlite, and then we have that one that's just like the regular, and that has like a little bit less of perlite, I think.
yo. This is like.
It's like.
This is what like mattresses are made of.
Yeah, it's soft.
Oh yeah, it's very soft, and you can feel.
How
That's
light.
another thing, you know, I had to stop doing when I was potting up my plants. I was like packing in the
Yeah, no, you can't pack it. Yeah.
pressing, and it was like you can't do that
Yeah.
because it's too dense for the roots to navigate.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you get it, you should legit
Just like airy, yeah.
put your
And
plant
then if
and then
anything, just
throw
like
it
maybe
on
just
top.
I
and
was
then
like
the edges just so
yes.
like, and then that's it, you know. But
I always tell the girls to just to give them a little hug, like
Yeah.
like a squeeze.
that was it.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Like,
A Yeah, because I potted stuff before, like a Hoya, and I didn't do like the extra squeeze, and it didn't grow.
It didn't grow.
So you need to give them a hug before you
A little hug, yeah, because I think they like the security
gotta
of like getting that moisture from the sides.
Mine sounds different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there. And then that's so.
Yeah.
This is, but see, and what's this?
Look, Paula, you squeeze this, and it still opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is this? This is
the BVB.
This is
BVB.
BVB.
I need that.
So this is the regular BVB. This is a mix between two because I think one has more like clumpier soil and the other one's another thing. And then this makes up the alocasia mix. Then here we have this kind of soil, the BVB soil mixed with Hoya, with cocoa and perlite, and that makes a special mix. And then without the soil, this is being the soil. Oh my God, the Hoya mix. Okay. This is a chip.
So
that's just chips. All right, so this is the BVB and perlite. All right, this is BVB perlite and the chips, the cocoa chips, and then this is just the cocoa chips and perlite. And this is what Hoya's. This is generally what I'm understanding, probably Syngonium phylos. A lot of the common aroids are, and this is more like your alocasias.
Anthuriums.
Anthuriums, alocasias, things of that nature.
Perfect.
Great. So yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we can't wait to see you again. Follow Lord Saint, and he's amazing.
My point of views are fantastic, just like the water.
Just like the water.
It's just like the water here. I'm not gonna show you the brand. It's exclusive to here, okay? But just like the water, my advice is amazing.
Oh.
Come. It's exclusive, I thought. This water is fantastic. I can't show you, I have to take it off, but we don't even get it from Earth. We don't get this from Earth. Trade secrets. I sent it to you.
3 punches in the face.
Like that. I'm saying, I'm a nice guy. They're free. I'm in charging anybody. You know?
Like right there.
But how do I live on the property? Everybody lives on the property but me. How do I live here?